Hello guys, I'm Chris. I bring you back to Middle Earth, but this time we go south to the Harad. The Harad is a southern territory in Middle Earth, and we have very few information concerning the civilizations there. But there is some, and we can interpret from that. In Tolkien books, I think we have something like, I have less than one page of references for the descriptions concerning the Harad, but there is some interesting details. I have plenty of stuff to present, so let's begin. One of the descriptions we have concerns the banner. The banner is red with a black snake on it. So, I went for that. This banner is made out of silk, and I painted over there a black snake. Concerning the shape, we have absolutely no description, so I went through the idea that you don't have to waste too much fabric for this civilization, so this was a rectangle that I cut in 3 pieces. Each have been used, you see, there. The triangle with a square angle, another one there with a square angle there, and both came from the bottom part here, and I just cut through and reversed. As they came from the south, I took the freedom to choose a piece of bamboo there. Black linen allows me to let it hang over there. In order to carry it to battle, I have this here, a long pole out of bamboo as well. At the top you can see that I made something like an eye in order to refer to Sauron. 2 pieces of bamboo wrapped in rope. I dyed, colored everything there. There is another piece of bamboo which was also covered in rope at the center to make it thicker. There is a leather covering it, and a piece of glass here at the center in order to, well, make it even more like an eye. I made another banner-like thing there, which was meant to be carried by a guy on his back, which means also that this was strapped on the armor's back here, and the idea came from Games Workshop designs and what we also see in the movie, which not exactly something we have a description in the book. Concerning the main color that would be used by the Haradrim, there is 3 colors that have been described in the book and only 1 for the clauses. The one for the clause is the red. We have scarlet red, if I remember right, and well, red, so we can already expect some nuances and different shades, from bright red to darker red, perhaps even violet. Well, just change tones and have different nuances on the different characters. The other color concerns the shields, and the shields have been described as yellow. And the third color was the black, because there is black snake. So you can create different nuances of yellow, red, and also add some black to the equation. So I went for my costume here for boots. Right there. The boots have pointy end, simply because I love the idea of a pointy boot for the Haradrim. And I have black trouser, red garb there, a long tunic which is another red, a deeper red here, lighter one, red gloves. The boots aren't red, but why not? Could be red, could be yellow, would do. I do think also different nuances of brown could be used because it's really an easy color to obtain, and why not match it to the different garbs with some light brown or darker brown. And why I did choose boots, simply because we know they have cavalry. A lot of civilization that went into cavalry also used boots.
For foot soldiers, shoes like this will do, and you can have a strap wrapping around the leg.
Concerning the armor I have on me, it's made of leather there, with parts of bamboo here and here, see, covering a big part of the armor, providing much of the protection because the leather won't be enough here. It's just a protection that will protect you from slashes there, or hits, not stabbing, or if you are freaking lucky. I made also this years ago, which was, as you can see, something like a neck piece, a neck guard with pauldrons there, like that.
You can have here a closer look to the armor with the eye thing I've built there. Bamboo parts, some pieces of brass there on the sides as well. Here you have another armor part here, which was to cover the end, and there is some brass spikes that have been glued to the bamboo. You have at the center the different belts with belts here, and you can look at the eye. It's looking a bit like an eye, so I went for that.
The armor I have on my body is something which I've been inspired by the movie. It's something made out of exotic fibers there, which have been weaved together, and I there added the border made out of leather. It could be different colors, of course. You have two parts here for the shoulders that will allow you to change the sizing of the armor. It will be strapped at the back, strapped here at the front. You have also a belt that will allow you to put it correctly around your belly there. There is nothing closing it on the side here, so it simply means that if you are thinner than I am, you can just wrap it around you a bit more, or if you are larger than I am, you can just wrap it less.
This armor, as it is, as its crossed fibers, won't protect you much from thrusts, but it will protect you from slashes. For additional protection, you'll just have to add some pieces of brass on the armor in order there to protect you from both slashes and also some thrust as well. Some variation for the armor, you see, different colors on the leather, and there will be also a tutorial about how I made this kind of armor. There, new fabric with something like an eye right there, remind me again of the eye of Sauron. And you have a pair of gloves up there. You have there some scales made out of brass, and pieces of brass like this could be what would be used by the Haradrim for the armor. I love especially because it will give a scaly look and remind you a bit of a snake, at the same time as it will also fit Tolkien's description, because there will be little pieces of brass there together that will create an armor, just like he described. And also it could look like a snake, and they have a snake on the banner, which is just right. But even you can create a scale armor, a scaly like armor like this with leather, not only made out of brass, but I think leather will do as well as brass.
I have a dagger there, which is made out of steel and brass, because we have brass description for the Harad. We have something for the body armor, which was made out of different parts, made out of brass, which were assembled together in order to create that armor.
Different knives and dagger. You may recognize this one as a Roman knife. There is daggers from different inspiration. That was the dagger I had on my belt. This one here is very long and very thin. And it's something that could be perfect to pierce an armor, like the chainmail from Gondorian soldier.
And for the weaponry, the saber was my first choice because it's what you call in English sword as well. Most of the time they just call it a sword. And this one could be used with two hands, but also with one hand because it's very light. And the curve here on the blade help it to look like a snake tooth. See, like a big jaw of snake. And well, look at the design here. Look, it could be like a snake because of the wave there. Another weapon that I have here, a short saber, which is easy to produce. It's just one side here that you have to sharpen. It's asymmetrical, which means it's far easier to produce than a straight sword. And this, you have the return here, the covering for the end, which is actually part of the whole blade. It's just a big piece of iron that have been elongated there, which have been then curved around the part that will be here for the end. It's very simple but still efficient, and it's in a scabbard there that you have here over a strap coming over my shoulder, and the scabbard is covered with leather there, which look like a snake skin. As we know, they use brass for the armor, why not for the weapon? So I went for a mace, like here, which perhaps have a handle which is a bit too long, perhaps shorter it, about 30 centimeters, 20 centimeters, something like that, yes, to use to smash your opponent, mostly Gondorians, with that, of course, with a shield as well. So a brass head like this could be an efficient weapon. Once again, they have cavalry as well, remember that. So on horseback, this would be very useful in order to just swing it through your opponent's head. Concerning the spears, we have descriptions as well. Their spears seems to be red. So what is a red spear? Many interpretation. Could be rest upon the head. Could be also like here, a wrapping made out of leather, which is red. Could be directly the wood. It could be colored paint red, or perhaps I don't know. Perhaps also because the brass could turn a bit orange, because when there is too much copper in your brass, it turns orange like copper. And well, this is why here I have two spears to present. First, one which is made of brass, because we know they use brass, so yes, I went all the way into brass for many things. I do believe that they could also have weapons made out of brass, like a dagger, which could be completely made out of one piece of brass. So we have a brass head here on my spear. We have here one which is made out of steel. Those are very light. They could be both used as spear that you could use in one hand, because they are very light, and also perhaps could be used to be thrown directly at your opponent, both ways. But there could be other kind of spears.
More spears, some there have rust, some blackened, some even have there some brass, and those will be mounted both for single hand spears, some other with, like here at the center, those one for two-handed spears, the trident same. There, this will be used as perhaps something like a pylon with the butt here. I'll see how I mount this depending on the shape and the weight for a spear for one hand or for two hands.
For the bow, I went for something like that. It's like a longbow but made out of bamboo, reinforced at the center with other pieces of bamboo, and it's something that when well made could be kinda efficient, but there is other things that could be even better. So here is what they could carry as a quiver, and also a bag here made out of fabric for the bow, so you can carry your bow and your quiver at the same time. Once again, the inspiration came from Central Europe, Eastern Europe, and even Asia. As I said, composite bow there, which and only bamboo. The bamboo is here as a reinforced part, and there is other things there. It's completely wrapped in leather. With that, a quiver which is a lot of leather as well. Different arrows here with the colors we know for the Harad, so I went for red, yellow, and also black. Here I selected some of my arrows. And to add some exotic touch, there is a little feather coming from an ostrich. Another kind of quiver that I built, which is light, made out of fabric and leather and bamboo. And here for the arrows, those have been made out of bamboo, the other one were made out of wood. Here you have ostrich feather, you have here some more regular feathers.
Let's have a little close-up on the arrow. You have both arrows that will be made for hunting and other for warfare. The warfare ones, of course, will be made out of iron, like here. You'll have hunting there made out of, see, bamboo glued together here, like for little birds or fish. You'll have heads made out of bones, like here, or even horn, like made there. This would be more like for hunting. The other one there, the brass iron ones will be there, used for warfare.
And of course, as the Harad came from the south, you have to think about also what you will wear on your head. So I wrapped my head in simply at first a silk square, and then I wrapped my head in a long piece of silk, a red one here over my head, which is also around my neck here. Simply like people, civilization, which were living near to deserts, to very, very old places would do. And you have a brass jewelry, and I do believe that it will be the case for many on the Haradrim, because there is jewelry since we knew man craft stuff. So we know they use brass for their armor, so why not to create jewelry like this, like what you could have found during the antiquity or later on.
Here's some more brass pendants. One looking like an elephant. The two others on the sides have kind of the same shape as this one here, which kind of remind me of a flaming eye. See the A shape, little thingy on the side like flames. Well, it kind of remind me of Sauron, so if you imagine perhaps the Harad would worship Sauron in some sort of a deity, so why not have some pendants like this, and the elephant, of course, because of the elephant and all the strength they produce for their army.
Another thing we don't have description about, but there is description concerning the Mordor in general. So I went for here a drum for the Harad, because well, why not give them some instrument for war, and more perhaps as well. Could also have some fun behind. Not only drums were described for the Mordor. I do remember that during the fight between the Harad and the ranger from the Ephelian, there was horns which have been blown, and well, some may perhaps interpret this for the Gondor only, and perhaps it was also some of the horns from the Harad as well. I think I'll try to make some horn for the Harad from some exotic horn, like well, I'll see. A whip for reference to this fact that there are some of the civilizations that are using slaves in order to produce food for them.
And here we have a bag made out of leather and the canteen made out of clay, because hey, you have to walk through the desert and other places, so yes, think about the water.
And one of the things we know a bit about was the shield, and the shield was described as round, yellow, and having big spikes. Round, okay, we good. Yellow, we kinda good as well, but with great spikes, well, perhaps it was at the center there, the boss, were like some German shields, which were having like a long spike, which weren't exactly a spike because the end was rounded there, like a, not even rounded, it was like a mushroom and something like that. So well, this kind of here umbo could be fine, but as I used this shield for EMA and for reenactment, well, the thing was that the other shape there too pointy was a bit dangerous, so I went for something which were a bit pointy without being too pointy. So this kind of umbo there, but I will definitely in the future create a shield with a real spike at the center there. So as there is a boss there, umbo right in the middle, you can use this kind of shield with a central grip as well there, like a Viking would do. And as you can see, there is straps here if you want to use it in another way. And of course you have here a black snake around the shield. It was a description for the banner, but well, it would be suitable for a shield as well. As the shields have to be yellow, but we have no precision concerning the size, I went for different sizes. So you have here a small one, which is kind of like a buckler that you can use in one hand, here a saber like that. Well, yeah, it's a bit like a buckler, I admit it. If you want a video where I use saber and this kind of buckler here, just check the description. For the decoration here, I made something there which looked like a pile there, and also you have a snake around it in order to refer to Sauron and also to the snake we know. There you have absolutely no decoration over the shield. There is just this kind of hemispheric shield, which is also with a border, which have been both nailed and stitched. You have here many straps at the back, which allow you to use it in many ways. Could be just something that you go stuck your arm into to use it. That you can also use it with the central grip there, like the buckler. You can use it also with there the gauge, which came around your neck here, perhaps with a strap there for your arm, and you can have it there. Perhaps if you think about the cavalry, could be there, right there, stuck correctly, and you could be on your horse, on your whatever the mount there, with the shield on the side there. So I tried to make something that would be efficient in many situations, so could also use this on your side there with a spear. There is another one there which is red this time, with there the reference to an eye, pile again, two snakes, once again you get the reference. And if you want to know how to produce a shield like this one or the other ones, just check the links in the description. Here is one of my favorites, perhaps the more complex one, and this one have at the top here a piece of brass in order to protect you a bit more. It's like a umbo but much bigger, and there is the decorations there. It's red, and as there is brass on it, it's a bit a yellow shade. It's a bit like a yellow shield as well. You see, it's yellow there, even if there is red. The border have been stitched. Also, the corners have been nailed. A big close-up on the shield. For the straps at the back, you have different options. Once again, you have possibility to just go through and use it like a regular shield there. You can use just the strap at the center for central grip, like a buckler here. You can also use the large and long strap here at the center in order to just pass through your forearm and use this with a spear. Once again, with the gauge here would help you carry the shield and use it like that. It's on your forearm, also on your neck here, and everything works well together. You can have your spear, of course. I would recommend to have a longer spear for the two ends, so yeah, you can work with that in your hands. If you want to see the Harad in action, I made several videos concerning duels in Middle Earth. There is so the Harad on one side, and facing him there is the Haradrim or the Gondorian. There is sword, there is spears. If you want to check that, link in the description. So that was my take on the Harad. There is many more things that could be done. There is many things that I will do in the future, and I'll try to keep you in touch. I'll make some photo shoot for this garb and the other one I have, so I hope to have a group of Harad and bring also this with a Gondorian ranger or soldiers. We'll see, and perhaps even in a short movie. And if you want to keep in touch about all the different updates concerning Middle Earth and other costumes and other projects I have, well, it's simple, just subscribe, follow me on social network, Facebook, DeviantArt, Instagram, you pick, you choose. And I wish you a great day, guys. See you.